do. Just put them on there. Okay, so you chose that you'd like, oh, put your legs down, very heavy on me. You chose that you'd like to look at some information about a famous artist called Vincent van Gogh. Let's just spell Van Gogh to see how your pointing is today. That's it, V-A-N, very nice. V-A-N-G-O-G and H, very good, that was very accurate. Van Gogh. While your pointing was so good and so accurate, I wondered to begin with whether you can tell me anything you know about Vincent van Gogh already. Anything that you know already, because you might know one of his paintings or you might know an interesting fact about him. If there isn't anything you can just tell me, no. Anything that you know about him that you can tell me? Oh, no, I don't want you doing that because you can't point accurately that way. That way it's better. Yeah? Anything you know? S. Was that V or U? U. N. Oh yes. F. L. O. W. E. Yes, sunflower. Sunflower. P. A. I. Very nice. N. T. I. Finish it off. Finish it off with the N and the G. N and G. Yes, famous, wasn't he, for the sunflower painting? Yes, I think that we had a look at that, didn't we, when we, funnily enough, when we talked about sunflowers. We did have a look at that painting. I think it might be here in this book. Let's have a quick look while you've mentioned it. It would be good to, there you are, look. Remember, that's a famous sunflower painting. A vase with all those sunflowers in, and it says here, you can almost smell the flowers that he painted or feel the bright sun. Yeah, okay, so let's find out a little bit more about Vincent van Gogh, the person. Let's start off by looking at this picture. Here is a painting of Vincent van Gogh by Vincent van Gogh. So that is called a self-portrait. So let's have a look at the painting together. Have a look at his features. There, yes, there. So, tell me one feature that you noticed in the painting. One feature that you noticed on his face, maybe. A B, yes. E, and go on. A, R, D, yes, he's got a beard and a moustache, hasn't he? So, on the self-portrait you can see a beard. And would you guess that he is a young man or an old man? What would you guess? Old man or young man? Q, U, I, T, E, quiet, go on, keep it going. O, go on, keep it going, lift your arm, lift your elbow. L, quite old, yeah, he does look quite old, doesn't he? Quiet, old. And would you say he looks happy, sad, angry, anxious? What sort of emotion would you say is being displayed on his face? If you were to describe it, what would you say? What would you say? Where? W O R R I E and D. Worried, you'd say, yeah, he's got sort of a worried look, so the emotion. There's a kind of a worried look. Yeah, he doesn't look happy, that's for sure, does it? You know, he sort of looks like he's almost carrying the worries of the world on his shoulders. Do you know what? I think we'll have a go at just using your reading skills. We'll follow these words because they're quite big words on this page. So let's just do a little bit of reading here. You follow with your finger. Vincent Van Gogh was one of the most tragic artists who ever lived. Nothing ever seemed to go right. Keep it going. For him. And he wasn't very happy. He never even smiled in his self-portraits. There, so you were right. Yeah, he was worried. This one was painted sometime between 1886 and 1887. Okay. So, he is described as one of the most, what was the word? One of the most, just find it. Find the word. One of the most tragic, yes. One of the most tragic. Tragic means, tragic would mean to you, S A D, sad, yeah, tragic is that's another one of the, yeah. So I wonder why, I wonder what made him so sad. Oh, just as an aside, so nowadays, what would the modern version of a self-portrait be, do you think? We use our mobile phones. What would the modern version of a self-portrait be? What would you call it? S E L, yes. F I and finish it off with an E. Selfie, yeah, we take selfies with our phones, don't we? So the modern version of a self-portrait, shall we do one? Might be a selfie. I'm going to take one quickly. Camera, turn it to us. Here's a selfie of Chris and Mum doing a lesson on Vincent Van Gogh. There. Okay, so a bit more about him. Vincent van Gogh was born in 1853 and he died in 1890. How old do you think he would be when he died? Can you show me? Born 1853, died 1890. How old would he be? 3 and 37. So, my gosh, if he was only 37 when he died, he must have been quite young when he painted this picture, mustn't he? This picture, it says, was between 1886 and 87. So that's only like 3 or 4 years earlier than that. So when he painted this picture, he must have only been about 33 or 34. My gosh, to me he looks more like a man of 60. He must have had a hard life. So, he in France. No, sorry, he was born in Holland and he died when he was living in France. Let's just have a quick look on this map and just check out where Holland and France are. Let me see if I can find a bigger one of Europe, because that one is, hang on, it's USA, Canada, Europe. That's better, because we don't find one of Europe, otherwise the map's a bit too small. Oh. Oh, do you know what? Here we are, we'll have to use this. Oh, Europe, here we go. So, here's the United Kingdom. You touch the United Kingdom, see? There. Now then, we said that he was born in Holland, so there we are, the Netherlands, there. And he died in France. Netherlands, France. Touch France for me. Touch it. Touch France. Put it there in the green. Touch it. Just practicing. Just practice. Go on. Touch it in the green. There. Yes. There we are. I wonder why he moved from Holland to France. Maybe we'll find out. So, Vincent van Gogh did not begin his life as wanting to be an artist. He wasn't really drawing things when he was a little boy. And in fact, he wasn't really very successful when he first started out. He failed at many jobs. Failed at many jobs. Oh, excuse you. His first job, his uncle got it for him. And it was when he was aged 16 and he worked at an art gallery, which was a place where they bought and sold paintings. So his first job was work at an A-R-T-G-A, lovely, L, all the way up, E-R and Y. That was very nice. First job, age 16 at an art gallery. And they had offices in different countries even. They had offices in London and in Paris. And he had a chance to work at those offices. But you know what? He was fired. So he must have done something pretty bad. He was fired in 1876. Fired, another word for fired, being fired from a job would be S-A-C-K-E-D. Yeah. Fired would be, the word for fired is sacked. Yeah. He also had a go at being a school teacher in England. School teacher in England. And he worked in a bookstore in the Netherlands. Got about a bit, didn't he? And then in 1878, he did what his father did. His father was a preacher, so he went to Belgium and he became a lay preacher. What do you think of when you think of a lay preacher? S-O. Good. Good. S-O. Keep it going, you're doing so well. Keep it going. S-O-M-E. Some. O. This is good. N and all the way up to the E it would be someone, W, H, someone who, a lay preacher, yes, would be someone who what? Go on, that's okay. Someone who, there. You ready? Someone who, go on, lift your arm. T, A, L, K. Someone who talks, go on. A, B, O, U, T, someone who talks about. G, G, N, G, O would make sense. D, someone who talks about God, yes. Someone who talks about God. Yes, and he actually lived amongst the poor people, miners, and that's where he was this lay preacher in Belgium. But even that one didn't work out because he was dismissed in less than a year. So he mustn't have been a very good preacher either. Anyway, just for the sake of it, let's see how good your handwriting is. Let's have a go at writing God, G-O-D. Let's have a go just to see. I haven't done any handwriting for a while. So we're going to go round and down, round and down. You try it. All the way round. That was good. I love it. So there's the G. Now the O is just a circle. Yeah. Go on here. That's lovely. And then the D, we've got a circle and then a line. Try that one. Circle and then the line. Oh, very nice handwriting today. I like that. Good. But it had its advantages because when he was there, let me just see, he started to sketch some pictures. So we can have a little look at some of these pictures. And you can see they're all in just like black and white because these are his sketches. And he was quite inspired. And look, see, he's sketching pictures of the miners and the peasants. Look, they're doing all their work there, pushing wheelbarrows. And that would be that says that's just a lady with a child. That was done in black chalk. See, but it's all pretty gloomy, isn't it, on the road, and black chalk. Yeah. So these were certain things you could see in his drawings, strong lines and shapes, and you can see the feelings he had for everyday people. So the pictures that he drew were of, what were the early pictures that he sketched? M, I, N, E, R, minus, A, N, D, and P. Go on, P, E, A, S, lift your elbow, A, N, T, miners and peasants, yes. So he drew miners and peasants. So even though his preaching work didn't work out, it did give him some experience. It just shows that, you know, everything in life, everything presents an opportunity, doesn't it? Okay. And then I think maybe being inspired by that, he decided that he wanted to focus on drawing and painting. So that helped him to decide what he wanted to do. But do you think that how would you be able to earn a living though? Do you think you'd make any money at that point? Because no one knew him or was... what do you think? You just decide, right, I'm going to be a painter and make money. What do you think? No. Y. O. U. Keep moving, lifting your elbow. U. H. Lift your elbow. Come on. Lift your elbows and hold it like this. Hold it flatter and lower. A. Might be easier. V. You have. Go on. T. O. 2. B. Let's just try with this because it's not as big. You have to be. Where? Lift. U. I. L. D. You have to build. A. You have to build a what? R. Very good. E. Or E. Come on. Touch that E again. E. Now, next letter would be. You have to build an R-E. I think P would be good. Try P. P. I think that might be. I think reputation would be good. If you want to make money selling paintings, you have to, first of all, you have to build a reputation. Let's just practice that. R-E-P. Let's do it fast. R-E, then P. U-T. U-T. A-T. A-T. I-O-N. I-O-N. You have to build a reputation, yes. So, he was very lucky because he had a younger brother. And his younger brother was called Theo, T-H-E-O. And his younger brother offered to provide financial and emotional support. Financial and emotional support. And his younger brother, Theo, he was actually an art dealer, so he was kind of in the trade anyway. So that was very kind, wasn't it, of his younger brother? One thing that comes to mind when we say emotion. Emotion. O-N-L. Y. Only. Move that out of the way. Only. A. B. R. O. B. R. O. T. H. E. R. Very brother, keep it going, only a brother, W-O, that's the O, after the O would be, that's the O, draw with the pencil, O, now next letter after the O, don't get O, W-O-U, and L, and D, only a brother would, S, only a brother would, S, go on, go on, go on. H, O, W, S, U, S, U, C, H, such, L, O, L, O, where after the O would be, touch the O again, O, L, O, O, V would make sense, yes. You were going up then, what are you going for? E, oh yes, only a brother would show such love. Oh, it was very kind of his brother, wasn't it, to do that. So yeah, so he went to live with his brother Theo in Paris. And at that point he was aged 33. There. While he was living in Paris, I mean Paris is a very cultured sort of place, isn't it? Paris, the capital of France. He was exposed to the work of lots of artists. There's lots of artists there. And I think when you see other people's work, that inspires you, doesn't it? And he started then experimenting with different colours and brushstrokes. Let's have a look and see if you can notice the difference. So there were some of his early sketches which we just looked at. And look, there's one from when he was living in Paris. There. And that's a later one as well. There's all these little pictures. Let me just find it. And there's another one. So let's just do a comparison of that one to those. That one to those. What would you think? What is the main difference between his early paintings and his later ones? Start off with early. E, A, R, L. Why early ones were D, yes, D, go on. A, after the A would be R, K. Early ones were dark, yes, so early. I said ones were, we'll just do a dash. Early ones were dark, yes, look at that. Dark colours, quite dreary and sad looking. Okay. And then the later ones, look at that one. What would you say? Let's do later ones. Do later. L, A, go on, T, E, R. T, let's get rid of them. E. Later ones were B, R, I, G, and H, and tea. Yes, later ones were bright, weren't they? See, it says on here, look, soon Van Gogh's paintings started to look much more colourful. And you can see that on lots of yellows and oranges and greens and blue. Yeah, what's that one? That one's a farmhouse. So where are we now? In 1888, he moved to the south of France. And his brother paid for another painter, Paul Gaugain, to be like a housemate for him. But you know what, they didn't really get on very well, and 4 months later, Paul Gaugain left. Now then, did you know that while Van Gogh was alive, he did not sell? Well, I think it says he wasn't successful. Only sold a handful of paintings. And he actually painted more than 850 paintings. And he had another 1,300 that were kind of pictures done just on paper, sketches and drawings and stuff. Only sold a handful when he was alive, so let's find out how he actually ended up becoming famous. We'll just finish off what happened to him first of all. Oh yes, there's some interesting things. Look at this picture here. Let's just find it. Hang on a minute. This one. Look at this picture. Now that's another self-portrait. Look, he's wearing a hat. Just let's touch his hat. Yes. And he's got a coat on. And what's that? On the side of his face there, look, see? Covering his... What's it covering? Covering his... Which body part? E. Yes, you're right. His E. Go on. Finish it. Chris, finish it. A and finish it with the R. Yes, there's a bandage on that picture covering his ear, because there is a story that says Van Gogh cut off his own ear. Can you imagine that? Why would you do that? Well, it was kind of in a temper after Gaugain left him after an argument. That was one theory. There's another theory that says actually there was a fencing accident, because the other painter, Paul Gaugain, was a good fencer, and he slashed off his ear. It was an accident. But Van Gogh pretended that he'd done it himself because he didn't want to get his friend into trouble. Which one do you think is most likely? Do you think it's most likely that he cut his ear off himself? Or that his friend did it in an accident? A fencing accident. Which one do you think is most likely? Which one? Oh, you think it's most likely that his friend did it? Yeah. Although, what is published mainly says that Van Gogh did it himself. Anyway, this was just a later theory that came along. But anyway, by May 1889, poor Vincent van Gogh's mental health was deteriorating. Mental health was going down. There's a lot of talk about mental health, isn't it, at the moment, on the news. What word do you associate when you hear people talking about mental health problems. What would the main problem be? D, E, P, R, you're right, depress, E, S, S, I, O, and yeah, depression is the main problem, isn't it? And he actually was, he checked himself. They had mental hospitals in those days that you could check yourself into. He checked himself into a mental hospital in the south of France, but in those days they weren't very good at treating mental health. All they did was just basically let him have long baths. However, when he was there, he did do a lot of paintings. He painted more than 100 pieces. Some famous ones like Starry Night, let's see if we can find that one, and pictures of the countryside as well. There we are, look, that's a very famous painting, Starry Night. And then, oh, there's a sunflower. So look, see these ones, look. See the fields. So these are probably ones that that he did. Actually, even when he was mentally ill, that he did them when he was in the mental hospital. He never married, didn't have any children, and they say that his death was suicide. What do we mean by that? What does suicide mean? Just for practice, I know you know really. T, O, O, K, H, I, took his oh, excuse you, W, and after the W would be N, took his own, L, I, F, and all the way for the E. Yeah, suicide is when someone takes their own life. So he took his own life. And again, this is a bit contentious because apparently he shot himself in the abdomen and then he walked God knows how many miles and died a few days later. Again, there is another side to that tale that says maybe it wasn't suicide, maybe it was an accident. We'll never know. Anyway, after he died, his sister-in-law, that was Theo's wife, inherited all his paintings. And she started promoting his work. And then eventually her son, who was also called Vincent, set up the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. That was in 1973. So, what do you think? Do you like his paintings? Do you like them? T, H, E, Y, they, A, and keep it going, go on. R, you need to lift your elbow. They are, they are, lift your elbow. D, R, A M D R A M. Go on. A T I and C. They are dramatic. Actually, yes, I see what you mean. Some of the pictures are, they're quite dramatic looking, aren't they? Quite bold looking. Yes, they are dramatic. Do you like that style? You can just tell me yes or no. Yes or no. Yes, you do like it. Y-E. Y-E. Yes, okay. So I said, do you like? And you said, yes, stay sitting for a little bit longer. Okay, so, okay, let's just finish it off then. If you were around at the time of Vincent van Gogh, do you think then you would have liked his paintings? Because they were very different from other people's. What do you think? A T T H A T. Add that T. Go on, you're doing well. Add that. I M. At that time, A N O A-N-O T-H-E-R. Another S. Is that right? You're slipping your finger over now. Another S. Come on. S. At that time, another S. T. Y. L. Another style. M. A. Y. May. B. E. This is good. At that time. Another style. Maybe what? Two. Maybe two what? At that time, another style. Maybe two what? Two A. V A N T G A R G A R. Go on. This is good. Maybe two. Avant. Go on. God. Oh, I didn't know you knew that expression. Avant. God. I'm going to Google it. Let's just Google it. Yeah. Ew. Whenever I want to do something quickly on my phone, I always seem to manage to get it wrong. So when we say, I want God, oh, it's got an E on the end. That's what I wanted to check, yes. new and experimental ideas and methods in art, music or literature. I love that then, that you came up with that expression. So avant-garde, need an E at the end of the G. Yeah, so at that time, another style may have been too avant-garde. F, go on. O, R, for, O, go on. T, H, E, R, S for others. T, O, O, yes, to what? A, after the A, touch the A again. A, go on. C, E, P, and all the way over. T, yeah, maybe two, avant-garde. For others to accept. Just because you did your handwriting so well, let's have a go at doing a couple of words. You did so well with it before. Let's just pick a couple of words from the lesson. We did God. Let's do sad. Sad. See if you can do it without me motor modelling it. That's lovely. Oh, that wasn't it. You need to go round and down for the R. Don't press too hard. Round, and down. I can see I need to motor model it more. Your elbow, and then we're going to go round and up and down. Round. Oh no, you did it perfectly earlier. Round and up and down. Round and up and down. Round and up and down like that. Sad. Okay. So, okay. There. You did really well. I'm really proud of you. Let's have a little break there. We'll do a little bit of reading from a magazine and then it'll be time for Bob. Well done. You can sit on your bed and we'll read some of that history magazine.